Hello everyone. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Sisterlocks and the journey towards greater levels of spirituality. I want to talk about this topic because it allows me to go into a deeper dimension of who I actually am. I have close to 4,000, maybe 400, 500,000 women, men, people who are viewing this channel or people who have subscribed. And I want to say thank you for that first. Like, I'm so honored. I'm so grateful. And it just reminds me of the twists and turns that life can take when we allow ourselves to be in the flow and when we follow higher guidance. I have another channel, Butterfly Transformations, and that's the channel that I thought would have an increasing number of subscribers over time. But it's this channel that my daughter asked me to rejuvenate after not having done Sisterlock videos for probably maybe 5 or 6 years or something. I'd done 3 or 4, and then at that time I wasn't in the same space I am now. I was more worried about what other people think instead of what my destiny had for me or what my calling was. And I remember taking the channel down because of that. I was not the person that I am today, and tomorrow I won't be the person that I am today. Thank God Almighty for that. Thank the Creator, thank Source, thank Universe. So this video, in thanking you and being grateful for what you bring to the channel, I also know and I feel deeply that each of you that has subscribed to this channel, or those of you who are attracted to this channel, or those of you who resonate with me, because I think in order to appreciate this channel, you have to resonate with me. There are millions of people out there who have Sisterlocks, and there are tons of people who give me thumbs down on these videos or who move on when you look at the number of views versus the number of subscribers. The people who subscribe to this channel are my tribal family, and I know that the only way you can subscribe to this channel and stay a part of this channel and watch these videos, if you watch more than one, has everything to do with what I'm made of and what you're made of, and the fact that we see ourselves in each other, and the fact that we resonate. And through that resonance, that resonance and that attraction that we have, we're able to connect at a deeper level. So even those of you who may not have ever thought about that before and think that you're engaging this channel because I have these long locks or I'm giving you some kind of advice about them, I encourage you to contemplate. Still doing my water fast and I'm thirsty, and I came to the video without my water. I'm almost done. I urge you to contemplate some of the reasons why you might actually be drawn to this channel. And I guarantee you, if you give it some thought, you're going to find that there's something in me that mirrors something in you. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you, and that there's something beyond the hair that keeps you coming back to the channel. So my gratuities as I delve into this topic of spirituality and Sisterlocks. My Sisterlocks journey has been an amazing journey. I have walked this path going on close to 8 years, and in that time I have experienced a greater inner awareness, a greater level of self-awareness, which means I had to realize the wisdom of self-awareness is realizing really how ignorant you are about so many things. I have experienced a greater level of self-awareness. I'm going to say I've become self-aware, because when I look at from whence I've come, I had the artificial external trappings of a successful life, but I wasn't connected in the way that I am today. And I am still learning, and I am still making mistakes, and I am still purifying myself of my weaknesses and the things that I still need to let go of in order to reach the next level of my spiritual ascension. So I am by no means whatsoever out of the lion's den. Okay, what I am doing is trying to take my head out of the lion's mouth cautiously. But I'm doing it with a purposeful and intentional zest for living the quality of life that I know I now deserve, because I actually know who I am, which is a divine being capable of creating paradise right here on this earth and being of service to the rest of mankind as I help to not only uplift myself, but hopefully serve as a light to help others uplift themselves and live the lives that the BS, the belief systems that we have ascribed to, or we subscribe to, have the lives that the belief systems that we have subscribed to have obscured the truth from. Or that doesn't really make sense, but the lives that we have ascribed to have prevented us from being able to really see the nature of who we are and to recognize that we are in fact freaking badass multidimensional beings who came here on a soul contract with a covenant to fulfill the greatness and the glory of God that is within us each and every day. And that you are settling for less. You are settling for less if you are not happy, if you are not fulfilled, if you are not living life to the fullest, if you are a slave to Mr. Charlie or Uncle Sam, or you're a slave to what other people are doing in your life who don't appreciate you, if you're a slave to the dream killers in your life. Okay? Instead of being a slave to your magnificence and your upward ascension, you are not living life with the purpose that you're supposed to be living life with, and you're not living according to the reason why you actually came here and incarnated in this lifetime. So to me, that is what is important in my life now, and that is what I'm moving towards. I have a calling that will not allow me to sit down on the job anymore. I have a calling that will not allow me to worry about the way that I used to, what the crap other people think. I don't give a damn anymore to the extent that I used to about what other people think. And that crap has freed me in a way that you cannot imagine. I am less concerned about this edifice, other than the fact that this is a vessel in my temple for health, and I've been blessed with health, and I need to maintain it more, and to learn my body more, and to figure out what I need to do so that I can be healthier. But I'm less concerned about what's on the outside, and I'm more concerned about what is on the inside. And that to me is the challenge for all of us, to get out of this freaking social conditioning matrix box, small-minded mentality crap that we live in every single day, and to become and to morph into the beings that we are quite capable of, into the being that is actually the deepest part of who you are, and into the being that will free you from the superficial crap that you are dealing with right here in this third dimensional reality. If you can understand that and that resonates with you, then you are someone who is either awake or who is awakening. And awake just simply means becoming conscious. It means opening your eyes to the reality of something, getting to know who you truly are. If you understand this message and you resonate with this, of course you need to subscribe to the Butterfly Transformations channel and continue to watch the videos on this channel. But if you resonate with that, then there's something deeper within you that's trying to be born, and you've got to step out of the way. You got to step out of the way. You got to get out of your own way and let the greatness be born, baby. You got to let the greatness be born. So, as it relates to me and my spiritual journey with these Sisterlocks, first of all, I was considering cutting these off when I went through and this is going to sound crazy, my last energetic upgrade. That was a major shift in my life. Some of you who watch the videos might remember. After a weekend Reiki level 2 class, I did 15 attunements, attuning people to the Reiki energy so they could do distance sessions and all of this other stuff. And somehow, I don't know, something happened during that time, because that following week during my Reiki session, I was able, during the first session of that week, I was able to not only perceive the energy of unwellness within the body in the form of a gray smoke emanating from the particular part of the body where there was dis-ease, I was also able to see colors. I was able to see the actual energy of the Reiki flowing. And I cannot explain to you the 3D multi-sensory hell of an experience that was. It was like a rapture that I was freaking caught up in, because I remember when I finally came back to my senses, or into the physical apparatus. Maybe this was, I had my eyes open. That's the funny thing. So I was already in the physical apparatus, but I had a deeper level of perception. Oftentimes when I would do my Reiki sessions, I would close my eyes, and sometimes I can see things with my third eye, but it was never anything consistent, and it was by no means anything as colorful, as 3D, as multi-sensory, as life-altering as that particular session was. But I was in that session, and in order for that to have happened, I had to have reached another level of energy ascension in order for me to have that perception with my eyes. And for a moment when I looked down at the body, by the way, 15 minutes passed, and it felt like it was like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. I almost could see inside the body, like it was like a flash. It was almost as if the universe was telling me, or the creator was telling me, this is what's possible. So naturally, I've been set on a path since that time to need to grow that experience, and to need to continue to heighten my vibration, and to become even more serious about healing and the direction that my life is taking, so that I could do whatever is the divine purpose that I'm supposed to have, because we all have a divine purpose. So when I talk about the Sisterlocks, it was that weekend that I was went to Jeju to do a spa day. It was like, that's a 24-hour place, and I ran into this lady. And this is when I was washing my hair, really washing it good. You guys know I don't wash my locks that often, and nor do I wash them for a long period of time, but they were feeling heavy. And I was like, man, this is feeling heavy. My neck was hurting, because I was up at night. You can call it spirit. You can say whatever you want. Vivid dreams were coming to me. Spirit was speaking to me between the hours of sometimes 2 and 3, or 4 and 5 every morning. So my sleep was being interrupted. I was channeling information. It was just a whole nother level of activity that was going on. And my locks were just feeling heavy. And so I was washing them, and I ran into this lady who was sitting there, and her name was Herb, Herb, and she had traditional locks. And we got to talking, and she looked at me, and she said 2 things to me. One of them I'm going to keep to myself, because I think that's appropriate. The other thing she said to me is, don't cut your locks. And because she said that, I knew it was amazing, and I knew that it was a message that I was supposed to get. And she told me that these locks were a part of my journey, and not only that, they were a part of how I would be recognized. And that could be spiritual, mental, emotional, whatever. But I began to contemplate that, because after that, I made the firm decision not to cut my locks. You have to know guidance when you get guidance, because it comes in all different ways. The Creator is trying to reach us at all times. You are not alone down here on this lovely planet. Even when you may feel like you're never alone. So I took that with more than a grain of salt. And I began to look at really the connection between the spirituality and my locks. And I also began to do some research. And I began to realize that the tips of our hair have antennas on them. And when we cut our hair, it can take sometimes up to 3 years for that to reestablish itself. And that our head has and communicates sort of as a radar, or like I said, antennas with the universe around us, and the energy around us, and channels that into the crown. And so your hair is a part of your spiritual self, and your hair is an avenue by which you receive the rays from the sun, light, which represents knowledge, consciousness, information, and so forth, that you receive information. And it's a way that also you receive moon energy, which has its own particular significance, and we'll talk about that at a later time. And then this whole thing about, the hair, when it needs to stop growing and it's ready to stop growing, it'll stop. It will stop. But as long as it's growing, if you want to cut it, fine. Some of us need to cut, I think, some of the stuff that we have in our hair that's no longer serving us. If the hair absorbs everything, then the hair, sometimes I know when we shave our hair or when we cut it short, we feel more energized, we feel freer. So I think where you are in that journey can vary. And if you know me, you know I'm one person that never professes to know everything. In fact, quite the opposite is true. In my awakening and my awakening to reality, the one thing that I believe is so significant is coming out of the world view that my way is the right way. As long as you think your way is the right way, you are asleep as hell. As long as you think that your way is the only way, you're going to be separated from humanity. You're going to take up residence in labeling people, whether it's by race or religion. You're going to fail to experience the beauty and the oneness of creation. As long as you think you know everything and that you have the only way to do things, and you're not open to information coming in through all sources, because God's, the creators, universes, source, avatar consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is incomprehensible. And don't you ever think that there is only one path to truth, and there are not an infinity of veils of light, and that each one of us are not capable of receiving according to due proportion. Don't you ever think that. If you think that, you need to get off of this page right now. You need to just get off my channel, because you are not going to be able to get what it is that I'm saying, and you will say things and respond in ways that won't resonate with me or the people on this channel. But anyway, understanding that was key for me. And when I look at where I was before my locks and where I journeyed to, I'm an entirely different person. I am different. Not only do I look different, and when I say look different, I look different, but I've gotten younger. I have de-aged. I am healthier now than I was then. I literally, if I were to post a few videos of what I looked like some time ago at different points, you would think, wow, she actually looks older then than she does now. But I have come to know myself more. I have come to love myself more unconditionally. I have come to be more compassionate with myself. I have a greater spiritual connection to not only creation, but the Creator. I am happier in my life. I have a greater sense of peace. It's been during this time that I cured myself, and I'm 4 years sober. And when I say sober, I'm talking about my mental and emotional sobriety. I am 4 years sober from high levels of anxiety and chronic insomnia that plagued me for 20 plus years. And I attribute that to the spiritual journey that I've been on, because I can tell you just about any medication or symptoms that have to do with insomnia or anxiety. I can tell you about all of that. And I can tell you that during this journey is when I've become a Reiki practitioner, even though I was fascinated with healing hands of light since the time that I was a kid, and I had some kind of fascination with the occult or the unmanifest realm. It kind of fell off the radar, and I never knew how that was going to surface. But that, the healing work that I do, the way that I assist women and men, but primarily the women who come to me, the classes that I teach, the feminine energy empowerment seminars, everything that I'm doing in my life, the discarding of a belief system that was no longer serving me, stepping out of a very narrow way of looking at life and deciding that my relationship with the Creator is mine alone and nobody else should define that. It's really nobody else's damn business. And the people who try to define that have nothing in common with me. And they're definitely, as far as I'm concerned, sleep. And just learning to accept other people and recognize that there is a universal oneness in all things, and that if you're not experiencing that, then there's a part of you that's not alive. There's a part of you that still is living in separation. and also this bigger, even larger part of me that is looking forward to perhaps living outside of this country, having an entirely new set of experiences, even if it's a on a part-time basis throughout the year, but discovering deeper levels of myself, going deeper into my healing abilities, experiencing different things, going on what you want to call a sabbatical, or taking that road where I will really be able to focus on my healing and my healing gifts that all of us have. Or let me say abilities, because I'm just refining mine. What are you doing with yours? You got them too, baby. You got them too, beautiful and perfect one. So it's been through my lock journey that this has been a blessing for me. And so I want you to really consider how it is that your journey through your hair has also and is also reflective of the journey that you are taking in your life in terms of your personal growth. Because I know for sure that within our hair that serves, our DNA resides within here. Our energetic blueprint, our energetic imprint, the souls and aspirations and karmic debris of our ancestors that is in your physical, so-called physical DNA, is also in your hair. And these serve as antennas to draw various things to you. Let's face it, it's on the crown of your head. And this is your crown chakra, which connects you to the divine. And so it has to have some significance. And the fact that this hair is up here and it grows, and you don't see the hair growing like this on many other creatures and organisms on the planet, leaves a lot for you to consider. And the fact that when you decide to go natural and you decide to get locks, there's something else that begins to happen to you beneath the surface. And that is what I want to talk about in my next video. That thing that begins to happen to you beneath the surface once you decide to go natural. Whether it is your natural hair, whether it is dreadlocks or traditional locks, what people want to call them, braiding, plaiting your hair, twisting your hair, whatever it is, if you were not living that way your entire life and you decided to make the switch from perms, or to take the wigs and the hair weaves off, and to stop perming, I said perming your hair, all of those sorts of things, and trying to get closer to the nature of who you really are, then you are experiencing something. And if you're on this channel, although you may not necessarily have come to arrive consciously at why it is you were drawn to the Sisterlocks, beyond the fact that you like the way they look and they're going to give you some freedom, they're also going to free you from enslavement. They're going to free you from a hell of a lot of other things. I've got to begin to close the video out because my battery is on low, but I'm going to start also with part 2. And I hope that you will find some value in part 2 of this video and watch this part. Even if you don't watch it today, watch it the next day or the next day. I'm going to add a link at the end of this video. You may see it already. I don't know, but I'm going to add a link to part 2 once I get them both done and posted up. That way you can just click on that link and go right into the next video. I have loved every bit of the beauty that you bring into my life. I have loved every bit of the inspiration that you give me, that even though I'm on this 6-day fast and I'm feeling good, this water fast, and I'm feeling good, I cannot compare how I felt upstairs to the way I felt when I came down here and filmed these last few videos. I can't even compare it. Something happens to me when I sit in front of this camera and I talk to you all. And y'all are the reason for that. Whether you realize it or not, if I had documented the first few weeks of starting this channel and my reactions to your largesse, your bounty, the bounty of abundance that you were showering upon me with your comments and your love and your subscriptions, you would probably think that I was acting for, or trying out, or auditioning for some role somewhere. You have touched my life. And by touching my life, you've touched the lives of everybody in my family, believe it or not, because they watch the videos or they are receiving the benefit of my highs when I do these videos. So they serve as an inspiration for me to help keep me on track, on path. It's a form of therapy, because through talking to you guys, I feel like I have friends all over. Like how cool is that, right? I have friends all over, and this feels good. And like Nita from Sisterlocks 2018, or Nadine, who watches the channel, or Moya, or gosh, like Mary, who watches the channel, Casper, so many of you guys who were amongst the first group of people to join the channel, and amongst that initial nucleus. You guys have brought a lot into my life, and those of you who continue to subscribe to the channel have done the same. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you in a way that you have no idea of, and I'm loyal to you, and I will continue to try to put up videos of value, and I will continue to strive to be a part of your spiritual journey as well, because I know enough to know that the lock journey is not just about me dyeing my locks and the essential oils I'm using on my locks and how I'm retightening my locks and all of that. There's a lot of other stuff, beautiful stuff that's going on in your life that's allowing you to make a shift, whether it's some fasting you're doing or some trying to get fit or whatever, coming back into the reality and the nature, your true nature. Something else is shifting beneath the surface, and we are a community, and we are building momentum. So again, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. I'm sending much love, but even more gratitude for your likes, your subscribes, and your comments. You're with Tanisha Ali of Butterfly Transformations and Tanisia's Locs. You can reach me at butterflytransformations.com or HaiRAPPRAISAL.com. Book that Reiki clearing if you know you need it to clean your energy, or you need a tarot and oracle card reading, you want to see what the energy is around you. Book that reading. Distance is just as effective as actually being here at my office. If you need coaching, if you need spiritual mentoring, whatever it is that you need in your push forward, go to my Butterfly Transformations website. You can go to Paradigm Academy and take a look at the online classes, or you can go to HaiRAPPRAISAL.com and see what the services are. You may be interested. I'd love to be a support mechanism for you. I would love to be inspired by your story, by your needs, and by the synergy that we can create together. Sending much love your way. Have a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful, productive, light-filled day.